Hello and welcome back to another exciting map review. Just checking out it's recording. It is. Here we have Lord's Realm by Gunther/Gunter/ will I ever say his name correctly? No. Yes, not a jam map. It is, however, a mini map. Free war. Basically the only difference being you had more time to make the thing. Well, here we are then. Here we are. I've given this a 6 for the difficulty and a 4 for the length. It's longer than the jam maps. It kind of should be. We had more time to make it. Harder than the last few, although this is a bit weird. I shall get to that when we get to balance. Aesthetics is a 9. Same as the Fallen and Crims map. Everything looks perfectly brilliant. There's just no huge spectacle, giant building. Wow, would you look at that kind of thing? Variation, loot variation are fine. We've got thematic mobs. We've got custom mobs like the Charge Creeper riding the zombie. Loot. It matches the theme. You've got some stuff in chests like filler loot. Blocks that match the area theme. And different varieties of loot, like we have the bow blade at the end and the fishing rod weapon and modifiers and blah blah blah. It's perfectly brilliant. The balance is off again. This has been off for the last few maps. If you see my playthrough, I had 4 deaths in the first area, 4 deaths to the first boss, 2 deaths to the first half of the second area. I did nothing to the second half of the second area, nothing to the third area, and nothing to the final boss. Which means the difficulty is wacky. And again, this is due to having way too much loot. It's too much. That means the variation's brilliant, but there's too much of it. I had like a chest full of each type of armor spare at the end of the map. For a full map, you usually end up with only about 2 double chests of spare armor if you're playing something like Simulation Protocol 2, which is loot heavy, and you end up with way too much. It doesn't mean that this map is probably good for multiplayer. I would recommend this for multiplayer, provided the bosses still work properly. I haven't tested those. Obviously, I can't really test them very easily in multiplayer with just myself. Maybe I should look into that, see if the bosses still work with multiplayer, but anyway, if they do, it should be a very good multiplayer map, but I think there's still probably too much loot even for multiplayer. There's coal everywhere, there's iron everywhere, there's diamond I didn't bother to collect. There's a ton of stuff everywhere. I ended up with a double chest and, well, 3 chests then, of enchanted books that were never used. You got the full enchanting table set up with plenty of lapis there. There's too much stuff, which just makes the latter areas too easy. Fairness is fine, it's just a couple of the boss attacks which I thought, meh. Particularly the first one, you only teleported into the middle. When I realised to use the shield a lot, spam block, I made things a bit better until I realised that. That wasn't particularly fun. Well, the traps are fine though. It's probably a 4.5 if I did decimal places. It's there. Area mechanics. The areas themselves don't really have that many mechanics, but the boss battles are there, and basically give that all the points because they're still rare, and doing them well is even rarer. This is another map to add to the list that actually does boss battles well, which is excellent. And we've got some custom creeper riding zombie. We had some spider jockeys in there, which aren't that commonly used, even if they're as derpy as a very derp thing, now that they're in versions where mobs can attack other mobs, which they're stacked with. That should really be that should be a feature, that mobs cannot friendly fire on stacked mobs that they're in a stack with. That would be a nice thing. That would fix that problem. Moan at Rock about it for me. Implementation of mechanics, the same thing with the couple of weird boss attacks. We had that fire attack for the last mob as well. He just lays fire on the ground behind him. That's not really very effective at doing anything. It looks cool, but don't really impact a whole lot. Teleport to the centre is cheap. Last boss is also too easy, which is a combination of the area design and the OP gear, which is the balance I mentioned before. On the area design, we had an inner section and an outer section, and you could just clear, you could just clear all the spawners off the outer section, and the outer section is pretty much perfectly safe. So then you just hang around up there and spam them with arrows, which is exactly the method I used, and it made it rather easy. Apart from that, everything is perfectly fine with the mechanics. Originality is a 7. We've got generic area themes here. We have generic jungle with some ruiny bits in it. It's been done. Monumenta, Ragecraft, I can't remember whether it was 2 or 3, did a ruins in jungly thing. Plenty of other maps I've seen use the same jungle ruins thing. That's generic. Ice area, generic. Did I say jungle and forest? It should be fire. Lava. There we go. Forest area, ice area, fire area. We've got some generic Mario worlds here. Still designed perfectly well though, they look very nice. The boss battles are what score most of the originality points here, because boss battles are still a very original thing. And also we've got some fancy lava and water designs in the first area of the water and the third area of the lava. Fancy big water coming up out of the ground, spiraling around, funny patterns thing. That looks really nice. I believe Pear did a jam map. Not the jam I did, but the jam before. I had a couple of similar things. But yes, and one final point which I want to mention is the map is, despite seeming very open world, very, very linear. Particularly in the second and third areas. In the first we've got like a fork kind of thing going on. And then we've got some sub-branches going on there, that's fine. Second area is pretty much just a winding path. Same with the third until we get to the building at the end where things kind of branch out a tiny bit. I said this a lot in the previous map as well, which was also very linear. Things may be more balanced and more interesting if you have some branching paths, some dead ends with loot in them, etc. Makes it less easier to do a blind speedrun, I guess, if we're doing the old new map speedrun event. But for anything else, I'd like some more branching paths, please. Well, that really affects anything too much, it's just my personal opinion. What's the other thing I was going to say? I can't remember. Never mind then. Ends up with a score of 41 out of 50, which whacks this straight into joint second, where I think it does belong. I think that is a very fair place for it to be, if I do say so myself. Yeah. It was a good map. As I say, provided the boss battles work, I'll probably be recommending this one in the future for multiplayer. It seems good. Well, this is this. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you disagree with me, leave a comment. I do like getting comments. Lets me know that I'm doing stuff right, what you want to see, etc. And yes, thank you for watching. I shall see you for the next one. Ta-ra.